All right. Here we go. We are live right now. Welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. My name is David, a.k.a. Kimba, a.k.a. Christian. No guest co-host tonight, so we're just going to keep blazing the trail. We do have a telephone number tonight, 340-201-9005. You can also text us on that number as well. But most importantly, you have to go to our website, streaming live from the VI.com. That's the website you have to go to. Get your Android, your Apple, your iPad, your tablet. Open up your browser, whatever it may be, Safari, Internet Explorer, Firefox. Type in streaming live from the VI.com, and guess what? You'll see the show tonight. We do have email. Our email address is streaming live from the VI@yahoo.com. Send us an email tonight if you care to, but do text or do call. We do have some special guests in the studio tonight. There they are right there. We have Jamal and Virginia. JV Diner is in the studio tonight. Wave to the crowd. You guys are streaming out right now. Your guests, family, friends are seeing.
Good night.
That's it right there, man. So I just want to say a couple more things here real quick, and we'll get right back with them with the interview. But to our guests here, we are streaming live tonight from the high-tech, low-tech studio. No radio, no TV. We are coming to you from an undisclosed location here in the beautiful island of St. Croix, Virgin Islands. No radio, no TV, internet only, so you cannot catch us on cable, you cannot catch us on any frequency, but you can catch us as long as your device is hooked up to the internet. You can see us live tonight. Check out all our recorded live shows on YouTube and Ustream.tv. Go to those sites respectively and search for our channel, It's Your Perspective Talk Show. They'll pop right up. We have 2 Facebook pages. I want to give a shout out to CHS class of 1982. That's the year that I'm representing. I want to send a shout out to Vanessa, Julie, and Cherise King, all for helping us out in the past. And to all our past guests, thanks for coming on our show. We're on Twitter. Hit us up at VI Perspective. Tweet with us. We're moving straight forward and up. The show's mission is just to inform, entertain, and empower everybody. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Magdalene's Party Decorations and Supersonic Computer Services. Check out all the details for those for our sponsors. Go to our website, streaming live on the VI.com. All their contact information is there for those services respectively. And on my list here, for our guests here, I have a bullet item that says any kind words of wisdom. So I'd like to just share real quick that our prayers and His blessings equals one perfect love. And so I'm going to ask you guys have a quick word of wisdom that you'd like to share with our viewers tonight?
Well, a quick word of wisdom, what I could probably say is expect the unexpected and always shoot.
And always have faith.
Yeah, shoot.
Have faith, okay. All right, so that's quick words there. I guess we'll elaborate a little bit more on that as we go on here. But our guest tonight, Jamal and Virginia, JV Diner is in the studio tonight. I want to thank you guys for coming out. It's been a long time coming. We finally got you guys here. You guys are doing big things there. I've been to the diner a few times. You remember me, right?
Yeah, man, I definitely remember you.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you see, that's the thing. I'm very good with faces, but
yes.
Bad with names. You know,
yes.
So and it's so ironic that I didn't know you was so high tech like this, man.
It's kind of a hidden secret, I am actually in the computer field. That's my kind of 9 to 5 thing.
Definitely.
And so this is just something for fun, I mean, that's how we do it,
Definitely.
So I want to thank you guys for coming out. And so, I just wanted you guys to come on the show tonight, just kind of talk a little bit about, who you guys are. Yep. And how this all kind of came about. And you shared with me before we started that you're also an artist, which I did not know. No one that I know has said that to me.
Exactly.
So, so you're an artist, so we can touch on that as well too, if you wanted to. But JV Diner, man. So what is it's the food is great, I must say. But tell us how this all came about.
Oh, well, you see, J&V Diners, it came about. It wasn't overnight, it was a thought that was, in play within a family role that we all gathered around and we're like, maybe, I think you should open a restaurant, and my wife, Virginia here, on the other hand now.
Trying to push him, I'm like, okay, let's sell some food, because he's like, I'm going to do something. I was like, okay, well, let's sell some food, we have the private catering. It was like, you know what, let's just open our own restaurant.
Okay.
Our mom-in-law, she was like, let's do this. I was like, Ma, you sure? She was like, yes. I was like, babe, we're gonna do this.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, seriously, you know, I'm still like, you know, bummed out to the point like I'm like, I don't think that was the right, you know, decision. You know, I didn't have the faith, you know, son, at that point.
Okay.
But I mean, after that, you know, I mean, we started. You know, we just I put aside everything. You know, I mean, I forgot what everybody had said. You know that you're not gonna make it. You know that's a bad location. You know, I mean, Jamal, are you sure you want to open a restaurant? And I'm like, no, listen to me. You know, right now at this point, I put my right foot first, and we gonna go forward with it. And
you know, I think a lot of people would say that opening a restaurant business is a lot of work.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
You guys are open from A to B, but you're there early and you're there late, doing whatever you got to do to
We're
keep
actually
it
there
running.
like
Exactly.
almost every day because it's like it is a lot of work.
Yes,
You know,
okay.
people think it's not, but it is a lot of work. Putting
Okay.
time and everything into it, it is a lot of work.
every 4 o'clock in the morning, I get up, I do my menu. I mean, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, she's like, you can't sleep. You know what I mean? But
And I'm
it's
there
not
on the
that.
computer doing the paperwork, so he's just there writing up the menu. And then
Okay.
9 o'clock in the morning comes, he was like, babe, I'm changing the schedule, the menu. I'm like,
After I done, you know, I already create the menu, but then I say, you know what, I'm gonna change it a little bit, you know.
Okay,
So
okay.
definitely there's a lot of adjustments and stuff like that. Even after we finish service, we have to still prepare because we're cooking all the menu, you know, everything fresh right there and then in the
Okay.
spot. So you have to prepare and prep for the next day. You know?
Yes,
And then
okay.
especially on Sundays is my day off. I mean, that's the day I really work even harder, you know. What I mean?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so definitely, but I love it. You know, I love doing what I do, and so it's not that, you know, whoa, it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? But it is hard work. You know.
Okay. So, how long have you been a chef?
I've been a chef going right now, and 14 years.
Okay.
You can say 14 years. You know, I'm cooking as a on a saute line for at least nine years, let's say.
Cooking on the what line?
On the line itself, meaning on the line, we
Okay.
have different sections of the line. You have a saute, you have your saute guy,
Okay.
and then you also have your salad guy or your fry guy.
Okay.
And then you have your grill guy. So
Okay.
definitely, I've been working in every single position.
Okay.
In
Okay.
a restaurant at that time.
even bartend, he did.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, are you like classically trained to be a chef?
I actually took classes in Antoine Dou's vocational class in Complex.
Okay.
And then we went off to Miami and the Hyatt Regency Hotel.
Okay.
Where we competed against different Caribbean islands.
Okay.
And therefore, you know, that's where we started networking with different chefs and coming back at Rum Runners at the same time I was working there. And I met so many different chefs that taught me so many different techniques, you know, and,
Oh, really? Okay.
and sauces. And therefore, I started creating my own.
Okay.
And creating my own style of cooking and stuff like that, and then creating my own specials,
Okay.
and then meeting guests, you know, and the guests are the ones that are so inspiring. Those are the ones that like they come to the island and they've never ate a dish like this.
Okay.
So that inspired me, you know what I mean, to
Okay.
actually continue. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So, so you were an artist first, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you got it. So, I mean, what happened? What inspired you to
do
want
both.
to?
I was
To
exactly.
do both.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. he
Okay.
actually
So,
used to do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but everything.
Nobody never really actually knew that he actually used to cook like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but he actually used to like even if he come off his plane, he going straight to work, rum runners.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight in back in the kitchen.
Okay.
Back in the kitchen.
Even
So.
in school, he's
Okay.
cooking everything.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's right off the stage, right back in the kitchen.
Okay, so I guess the thing was then that one day you guys just decided you want to do this for yourself.
Yeah,
And
'cause
hence here comes JV Diner.
Right,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
yes.
okay, I got you.
We always had the vision of opening our own business, and he have a passion for cooking, and I know that's what he loves.
Mm-hmm.
And we both always wanted to open a restaurant. I was like, you know what? The passion that you have for this food, we're gonna make it.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I've had an opportunity to go there a few times. I like the food there. It's just a wide variety of stuff. Tell us like some of the things that you have on your menu.
All right, on the menu right now, basically I'm gonna touch base on the top sellers one time. You know?
Okay.
So one of the top sellers. So one of the top sellers we have is our black and spice salmon with a lemon caper butter sauce, and that is served with garlic mashed potatoes or steamed vegetables. We also have the sides, you know, of plantain, macaroni and cheese, or stuffing, you know, or fresh garden salad. But then after we have our lobster mac and cheese now. That's our bigger right there. Lobster mac and cheese, We have our shrimp broccoli mac and cheese. Our chicken. We have our chicken broccoli mac and cheese. We also have our seafood scampi. Seafood scampi, which consists of shrimp, mussel, clams, crawfish, and mussels. And lobster. And then we also have our J&V Seafood Fest. I can't wait to actually put someone up to the test to actually eat this dish. It actually consists of a half a lobster with a half a pound of clams, half a pound of shrimp, half a pound of mussels, cut fresh corn on the cob. We also have a fully loaded baked potato, and we have half a pound of crawfish too.
That's for one meal?
That's one meal in a washing pan. That's one meal in a washing pan. If you guys are out there listening and tuning in, check it out, and look up call J&V about that J&V Seafood Fest.
Okay.
Definitely. We also have like local dishes, like, we have our stew oxtail. Sometimes we might do a seafood kalaloo. We have the roast pork on the menu sometimes. The lamb. We have a fresh grilled lamb chop with a mint au jus.
And so this is daily?
This is daily, and it's almost daily special.
Okay.
I mean, some of the customers are like, man, Jamal, man.
Sometimes they will hit us up on Facebook and be like, when are you guys doing the lamb? Or when are you doing the red pea soup? Be like, you know what? They just hit us up. He'd be like, okay, tomorrow we're going to do it.
Tomorrow we're going to do it. It's like almost we're engaged with our customers, you know what I mean? And sometimes we get the feedback like, okay, man, Jamal, I'm feeling like I need this tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, great. We could do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're very engaged with our customers, and we want to thank our loyal customers too. Definite. So, but I can say we have so much variety of stuff on the menu. We have from quesadilla down from wings and fries. I mean, we have all the chicken Caesar salads, whatever salad you want. We have wraps. We also have our we did stew rabbit just the other day. Stew rabbit, which was crazy too. We also we had one customer one customer one time wanted iguana. So iguana was on the iguana. We had to prepare it and you name it, any different dish or any dish that you may have or you prefer. I'm a chef, and that's what I'm here for. That's my calling, and so when you bring it, I'll cook it.
So that explains why you're up so early, if you have to do prep for all this kind of food, right?
I'm telling you, man. And don't talk about our catering service too.
Okay.
Yeah, we also have our catering service, so apart from the restaurant, apart from the diner, so.
Okay.
And so that's even crazy more work. That's more work right there.
So one of the things I like when I come there, and you seem to like come out and greet all the customers.
Yes.
I can see that the customer service part of it is very important.
Yeah, we try to push that all
and
the way.
And Virginia can tell you back on that. That's her part. That's management right there.
Okay.
That's my part. Because, everybody stigmatized the Virgin Islands of always having bad customer service. When you enter a place, I tell my staff, I'm like, listen, the minute someone walks in that door, even if they walk in 3 times, just be like, hi, good afternoon. Greet them with, make them feel welcome, because they're going to always remember that, and they're going to always come back, and they're going to always appreciate that at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's important, I think, for me and probably a lot of other people, just getting that good level of customer service. You just always want to feel welcome wherever you go to, instead of kind of, with the attitude of, you're bothering me when you're coming for some kind of service. But I appreciate that. I see you come out and shake everybody's hand.
That's me right there. That's me. So my partner with that, I usually try to come out to greet my customers. Now, if I can get to know you on a one-on-one, then I feel that's a relationship we have, So, and with that relationship, I only expect longevity, and if I'm only human, so therefore sometimes, I'm not going to make a perfect dish every single day of my life, you know what I mean? I might tally up or jump, I might have a little bit more salt in my dish, or you know what I mean, or a little bit too sweet, you know what I mean? So therefore they can have a relationship like, hey, Jamal, hey. You could adjust that. No problem, you know what I mean?
A personal touch.
You know what I mean? And therefore, I like that. And that's why we always try to, engage with our customers.
So they hit us up on Facebook, even if it's a problem or an opinion, whatever it is, they hit us up on Facebook, or they even call us. There's like, we always make them feel that way. Like, we're just like you guys, Your opinion is always welcome at the end of the day, no matter what.
Okay.
Because you guys are what making us right now.
Okay, okay. And so you're open, I guess Monday
through Friday, 11 to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays from 11 to 3 p.m.
Okay, and then I guess I was kind of preoccupied there. But what did you say your favorite dish was? Because I know is it the mac and lobster?
The lobster mac and cheese is one of the top sellers from the time we opened. That dish been skyrocketing out the waters. I can't even imagine. I think we did over 150 orders
Okay.
I mean,
First day.
with the first day, you know what I mean?
Okay.
The first day we opened with lobster mac and cheese. So that was a top seller from the get-go. And then from there now we noticed that people don't want, some people would not prefer or, you know, have health issues with seafood, you know, so we try to do the chicken, broccoli, mac and cheese.
Okay.
So now that is out the waters now, and then we have our shrimp, broccoli, mac and cheese now.
Okay.
So now we have 3 different mac and cheese and still
this is-
whatever
this is
special.
every day?
This is every single day.
Look,
Wow.
Freshly
Every single
made
day.
every day.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick break. Our guests tonight are Jamal and Virginia. They're from, is it JV Diner or J and V?
Well, J and V.
J
Jamal
and V.
and Virginia.
Okay, I apologize for that.
No,
They're our
that's
guests
okay.
tonight. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stand by. All right, we're back. And our guest co-host has joined us. There she is. Make sure you have your, there you go.
Hi everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, Shanice is in the studio tonight. She's our guest co-host. She's helping out tonight and maybe even some other nights here in the future, you know. So welcome, and we have our guest tonight, Jamal and Virginia. They're from J and V Diner. There they are. So welcome back to our studio here. And so we're just kind of talking about the whole cooking experience. So I would imagine that you eat, dream, and sleep cooking.
Yeah, that's sometimes in the night too. I'm actually in the bed shivering, like I'm behind the line. Actually, sometimes you wake up with black and blues in the leg because I'm still there kicking and twitching at the same time, thinking I'm behind the kitchen, something, you know, just cooking.
Cooking, okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's a passion, you know what I mean? With that passion, you're dealing with people's food, you know what I mean? Their health.
Okay.
You know, and for me to be a part of that, you know, that industry, and being so careful.
Okay.
With people's food, I mean, it's mind blowing. It's priceless. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To be, you know, gifted.
Blessed hands.
So I'm gifted with these hands, believe it or not. So.
Okay.
Well, you are. I have to say that I think I told you several times, Jamal, that I'm extremely proud of you and Virginia, and you guys are doing a great job in providing, you know, really nutritious and, you know, tasteful food to the Virgin Islands. And, you know, it's just really good to see our youth, you know, our young professionals being able to actually, you know, survive in this environment, you know, in the Virgin Islands, you know, that we're experiencing now. So, I mean, I came in and I heard you guys talking about the lobster mac and cheese and having all the different mac and cheese. And mac and cheese is my favorite food of all time. I love cheese.
I did not expect that. I didn't expect that our locals would have grasped, you know, the lobster mac and cheese, you know,
Okay.
and as a lunch, you know, dish. Then, because I thought when we started out doing it as an entree. As an appetizer. So it was just a small little portion. And then all of a sudden now, I mean, it take off now. And they'd be like, Jesus Christ, Jamal making money now, man. His price went, the size went down on lobster max. I said, Jesus, I said, you know what? I'm not.
Cheese is expensive.
And she's
But
expensive,
cheese is
you know what I mean? So,
expensive. But it's
and
delicious. So you can
I mean, it's
imagine
delicious.
everyone's
And he
excitement
put-
to
He
want.
put 5 different cheeses.
5 different
Wow.
cheese. You know?
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
So we kept the price the same way. And then I said, you know what? We're going to give them a salad. We're going to give them so balance them out and give them a salad now and whatever choice of dressing they want.
Okay.
And then therefore now the complaints. It wasn't complaints, but it was almost like suggestion, like, oh my gosh, Jamal, I mean the price is, I mean, the portion of the lobster mac, but it's not. They want some more.
Okay.
So we give them some more, and then, you know what I mean, and then
You know,
give
some
them a salad, you
persist,
know.
Correct.
Because now I noticed that that's what they want as a meal. So I was like, man, wow,
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. So now lobster mac is a meal.
Yeah, well, on
Okay.
the break, you know, we were talking about the fabulous snapper, the boneless snapper.
Oh, man.
And I had that yesterday.
Yes.
And it was delicious. I mean, I'm not a breaded kind of individual. Like, I don't like anything breaded.
Very nice.
And when I came, you know, when I made the order, the young lady said, well, it's, you know, it's boneless and it's fried.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't want a bread on my snapper. And
Yeah,
when
yeah.
and then I looked at it, I was like, Miss. And she said, no, it tastes good, taste it. So when
Yeah.
I tasted it, I was like, oh my God, this is delicious. I mean,
Yes.
seasoned appropriately. You know, it had like little fins on it.
Fins, and that's the smooth style.
I thought it was just very creative. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, so now I know it's not a fillet.
No,
it was
no.
just bone.
Bone, yeah, bone, yeah.
And you know, and the Creole sauce to go with it. I mean, it just blended very, very well. So I mean, I have to say kudos.
Oh, man, thank you.
You know, because you guys are doing phenomenal work, and you know, and we appreciate it because there's not many places on St. Croix that we can eat.
Yep.
You know, and have really good presented Crucian food.
That's what we opened a restaurant for. We did open a restaurant just for, you know, for people to eat a la menu food that's prepared right there and then. Yeah. When it's done, it's done. You know what I mean? When it's done, it's done. Yeah. So,
one of the things I wanted to ask you about too is, you know, the presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's like the artistry of.
Very precise with that. Very precise.
So, what did you learn? Is that part of your, you know?
That's part of my culinary training and on my. A lot of chefs I've been working with and watching a lot of television shows too, which Virginia is trying to get me on Chop, and she's trying to get me. And so anybody out there that knows that, you know, anybody out in America that knows about, you know, getting chefs, local chefs from the Virgin Islands to take part in a series in Chop or
there's so many of them, really.
So many of them.
Hell's
Kitchen. I heard that actually Chef Ramsay is, you know, is gonna pack up his bags and knives, and he's gonna move to the Virgin Islands.
Oh, that'd be
nice. And he's gonna open a restaurant just for one day of a week, you understand, and live on a yacht. So
wow,
and he's gonna be here.
Okay.
So
that's amazing.
So Virginia is one that brought it to me, and so we're trying our best to actually, you know, greet him with great arms. And so, you know, you never know, I could be able to work with him in the near future.
So you mentioned about the portioning of the lobster mac and cheese with salad. So how do you combat the, you know, our culture of, you know, always wanting our foods to be rich,
yes,
you know, and very
like seasoned
and you know, cheese down, you know, high cholesterol and high blood pressure made foods. You know, do you guys have a section of your menu where you actually accommodate individuals that would like healthier portions and healthier meals?
Yep. Yes, we also have our 24 Fit Herbalife salad. You know, we have a 24 Fit Herbalife salad, which is consists of dry nuts, dry fruits, apricots, dry mangoes, bananas, and stuff like that. A whole balance, and it comes with a raspberry vinaigrette, lettuce, green leaves, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, and carrots. So therefore, that's your balance right there. You can top that off with grilled chicken or grilled black and spice shrimp, you know, if you want. And we can top it off with lobster if you feel. So definitely, that's our or the tofu too. Oh my gosh, people love that. Or barbecue tofu or coconut curry tofu. They love that. And also sometimes we have some vegetarians, some real vegetarians that walk in and they like that fried cauliflower.
Oh God, I was just talking about fried cauliflower on my way
it's not on the menu, it's not there, but sometimes we have customers that walks in and like, okay, you know what, can you do fried cauliflower? I'm like, okay, great.
Also, so I can get that
once we have it on the menu, it's not a problem.
Well, my phone is gonna ring tomorrow. Oh my God, Jamal, can I have some fried cauliflower?
Well, you know I'm gonna call you.
That was my fault. That was actually my fault. Sorry.
There we go.
I'm gonna call him, but I need some fried cauliflower.
You know what I'd like to have, man, is some scallops.
Oh, scallops, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be back. Like I said, we have some trips that we're going to be and some cooking shows and expedition we're going to be on tour in September. When we come back, we're going to try to we're going to start dinners. So all the requests that people out there was talking, Jamal, when you want to do dinners, when you're going to do dinners and stuff like that. I know the time is near, and I think the time has come to the point we're going to start doing some dinners late nights and you know, dine-in or pick-up, you know, or take-out. You know, dine-in and take-out. So. And reservations too. So
especially like for big parties and stuff like that.
Okay.
Especially now that we have the AC also. So.
I know the AC is nice.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
And very warming now.
Yeah. That was a big plus. People used to be in there sweating like your mom, son. You can't feel his heat, and I know I could feel the heat. I have the jacket on. I could
and you're in the kitchen with all of the heat.
But I'm like, you know what, Jesus Christ. What you guys come for? The AC or food? You know.
Well, everyone wants to be comfortable while they're in their food.
And that's what it is.
But it was
definitely.
patient with us, and we finally got that AC, and a lot of people started dining in even more.
Yeah.
A lot of people was like, now I don't have to camp out in my car now.
Yeah, people used to be in their car pumping AC.
Right.
eating
Yes.
the food. And I'd be like, wow.
But that's to
Like,
show you how delicious your food is, because
Yes.
people would make the sacrifice to be uncomfortable for a little while just to get
Yeah,
the food from, you know.
definitely.
From
So I want to thank you guys for being so patient too. Thank you guys so much. Man.
So let me ask you. So, I mean, in general, is it the business going well? I mean, in your mind, are you like meeting I guess your goals and your objectives since you've started?
Actually, it is, and it's actually even growing even bigger. Like, you know, me being in the books and seeing how everything is going.
Okay.
Like, our customer base has been growing. It's like people from the States has been calling. People from, you know, having actually went in 2016, 2017 has already locked us in. Like, actually has been successful.
Oh, really?
Like,
Okay.
really
Good.
successful. You
Okay.
know, we thank God every day for that.
Okay, good, man, good. All right, so we're gonna take another quick break. It's about 8:38. You guys okay?
Oh, great.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna take a quick break. It's 8:38 p.m. This is the HO Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2015. Our guests tonight are Jamal and Virginia. They were at J&V Diner, and we'll be right back. Stand by. This is the HO Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until today's Wednesday, August 5th. My name is David, a.k.a. Kimba, a.k.a. Christian, and Shanice has joined us in the studio. There she is.
Yes.
Thanks for
to
coming
be
out.
here.
Yes, thanks for coming out tonight. Our guests tonight, J&V Diner. There they are right there, Jamal and Virginia. And so we're just going to continue on here. I guess a couple breaks back you were talking about the alligator ribs. And if I understood you correctly, you said that there's some interest in that here in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah,
and-
there is a great interest in alligator ribs here. I mean, we brought it in. I was one of the first chefs actually in the competition. The alligator ribs cook-off, the Croix cook-off. The ribs cook-off. That it's usually be off the wall in
Cane Bay.
In Cane Bay.
North Shore, yes.
That year was what, 2013? Yeah,
No, 14.
2014. Yeah. I mean,
So where do you get alligator ribs from?
Florida. Actually,
Florida?
farm raised.
Okay.
From a mid-age alligator.
Okay.
The ribs itself, I mean, I wish I can show you some pictures.
Got it flown in.
Oh yeah, so we've flown in and I flew in.
really?
And
Okay.
it's nice.
So how do you prepare that?
Okay, so I did a brine. Actually, you know, like how you do saltfish and stuff like that. So I had a bucket of water, olive oil, vinegar, peppercorn seed, thyme, bay leaves, and stuff like that. So I did that brine, let it soak in there, salt too. So let it set that brine for like 3 days. I took it out that brine now and then dilute it a little bit now. Like how you do saltfish, you want to dilute all that salt. So after you dilute all that salt, now I did a dry rub. So a dry rub season, that's the specialty season that I put together. And then I bake it with, I wouldn't tell you the beer that I would use. It's one of my favorite beers, and I bake it with the beer itself, foil paper, for like at least an hour to 2 hours and a half. At least.
You said your favorite beer?
One of my favorite
And
beers.
no, it's not Heineken.
Okay. I bet it's Guinness Stout.
I don't want to, it's not the secret, ingredient.
Okay.
And I would bake that for like, on low heat, and until it's very tender and it's falling off the bone.
Okay.
And then I make my specialty barbecue sauce with that too now. And then I just, it's the aroma, the wood chips, the oaks, and the apple wood chips, the hickory that I use to create that aroma and the flavoring of the alligator.
Okay.
At the competition now. Therefore, when I barbecue and I put that alligator ribs in there, and oh my gosh!
And it was a hit.
It was a hit. Long line of locals, and their locals are like, yeah, we want alligator. They buying it for the whole slab, everything. I'm like, what the heck? I could not believe
That's
it.
nice.
So this year again, you guys look out. J&V Diners will be at the Ribs Cook-Off again.
At Croix.
And I'm pushing to see if I can bring in 200 pounds of alligator ribs.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm going to be in line now for
Yes,
some alligator
trust me, you
ribs.
guys don't like it. It tastes like chicken, fish, and pork. Chicken, fish, and pork. How can you have one?
Full combination.
Yeah, come on, man. Like,
Yeah. So I mean, how did you come up with alligator? I mean, what was the thought? I mean, just want to try something different.
Because we start hearing, okay, we have everybody in the competition has pork ribs or beef ribs or spare ribs,
Oh, really?
back
Okay.
ribs. And then these are some of the ribs that we ate, you know, tradition, for years, you know what I mean? So I said, you know what, I mean, let's try to switch it up. Let us switch it up a little bit, you know,
Okay.
switch to everything, you know? And it was a hit. It was a
Okay.
hit. Sometimes being bizarre is good, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
it worked out for you because you won.
definitely, so,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, you won that competition too?
Yeah, and then we won the hot sauce
Hot
competition,
sauce.
which was just last couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
we won it in 2013.
We won it in 2002. Lava Love. You guys gotta look out for that one too. I
So
mean,
that's something that you put together yourself too?
something, yes, and that's from scratch.
Okay.
That's from scratch.
So,
Okay.
do you have the hot sauce at the
I have the hot sauce at the restaurant. It's 10.
Is it in a
$10
little
It's a little jar, yeah.
Yeah, I did put it on my snapper. It was
Yeah.
really
And
tasty.
it's, yeah, and it's
It was
flavoring,
really-
you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's flavoring. I mean, you can put it on your chicken, your fish, your steak.
Yeah, but
It's really
is it hot sauce or is it just sauce?
No,
It's a hot sauce.
Sauce, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a pepper sauce.
Okay.
So that was a cool
It's like
experiment.
tomato based.
Yeah, nice some tomato base, you know.
Okay.
But most definitely, man, that's from scratch, and people went nuts for that. I had young kids. I had to run from the competition to get some bread. This girl was on fire. Then I actually had Senator Nelson. Oh, Senator Nelson. I wonder if you're still blowing up. Sorry, Nelson. Not Nelson, but Sanis. Senator
okay.
Sanis, yes, he was on fire too. He turned red.
Oh my.
I could not believe that.
It was
Yeah.
really good though.
Yeah, definitely.
I
So
enjoyed
I mean, it was a very good competition, and you know, we look forward for these competitions all the time, and
Okay.
enjoying
So
it.
is there any talks about probably doing a local cookbook? Because a lot of times we have all these great recipes and we pass them on to generation in our families, but we don't ever have a way to document or archive wonderful recipes.
Yes, we actually have that actually in the making because actually we just started with Signa, a class teaching in the hospital.
Okay.
So he actually teaches the class. So right now that is something that we actually had in mind because we actually want to do like a summer program where we could actually teach the kids and he could actually construct a book that he could be able to pass on.
Yeah.
You know,
Right now, my
some of the
craft.
secret recipes.
Yeah, right now my craft is I can't keep everything for myself now. Since I have a
Okay.
restaurant now, and right now we're lacking.
And we're trying to put it in the market also.
Put it in the market and stuff like that too. And right now there's a shortage of chefs right now, local chefs on island, and I can.
Oh, really?
Believe that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, we need more chefs. I mean, young chefs.
Okay.
Coming up in the Virgin Islands at least. And creating their own styles of cooking,
Okay.
opening their own restaurants and stuff like that too, and passing on the same traditions,
I agree.
Our tradition right now, our tradition is cut short right now. I mean, where you could get like fish and fungi and a regular, where you can get kalaloo and a regular, you know what I mean?
No, you're right.
And stuff like that. So it's like those the sugar cake, the candies and stuff like that, those beignets and stuff like that.
Only get an agfir.
Yeah, we
Agfir,
have to wait until
Agfir.
we need to see these stuff hours in the market every single day and incorporate in our dishes and restaurants too. And that's where I'm gonna start transition, some of my dishes into local with a twist,
Okay. Okay. So you get all your stuff, your produce, your rice and all that stuff locally?
I try my best to get it as local as possible, but the thing is with my locals, and I'm gonna say it right now, we need to be a lot more consistent in our produce in the Virgin Islands, which we can. I can't blame it all on them because our climate too.
Yes.
Right now you can see we're going through a drought, so
Yes.
certain produce may not bloom or being produced at the time that they want it, we want it, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, and for me being now, I want to be as consistent as possible.
Yes.
And so if I'm getting that, wow, that was a lovely tomato, that was a lovely lettuce that I was getting, and then next week now, all my customers are like, oh my God, it was so lovely. Then next week I can't get it, I have to have something else. Then my customers are seeing something else different.
Okay.
So that's where,
consistency,
consistency. So right now I'm working with quality food. Those are the most fresh, fresh.
What about our local farmers like Cedar Farm? and all the other-
Cedar Farm. I have a local garden too, and most of all my starter pots came from Cedar Farm. So big up to them and kudos to them, definitely.
Okay.
And in Merchant Market, I usually buy my food from them too.
And,
Okay.
and it seems like that's a common trend among all of the chefs that I know. Talking about farm fresh. Talking about having the consistency and being able to buy local and organic. You know, so I think that's something that we probably should even look at. You know, agricultural
Wise.
benefits. You know, in assisting our chefs to be able to be adequately to provide consistent meals.
I would love
dishes.
that. I would love that. I would love to see a market one of these days that, you know, is just all local chefs.
local.
I mean, sorry, all local farmers from and then we have all the local chefs now. They're in there, and every morning we meet, we greet, you understand, and we get fresh produce to actually prepare for our people, you know.
Like
So
how you go to the other neighboring islands, you know, you
Correct. We always have the farmers market.
Yeah.
it's so lovely when me and Virginia went out to St. Lucia and we went into the market and there's tamarind, like you see the whole tree of tamarind, you know what I mean?
right there.
And then it's like, you know, we see ginger, we get the ginger, we get fresh, you know, we got, I mean, soursop juice, you know what I mean? You get like all fresh local stuff, you know what I mean?
even if you want the seafood.
And
also,
that's
you want
generally
different
every day
restaurants.
too.
And that's like every day. I mean,
Yeah.
I came off the ship and I'm like, hey, I would like octopus. I mean, I said, octopus, you serious? And he's like, okay, when you come back, I'm gonna have some octopus. I mean, the guy came off the boat, pulled the octopus out. He beat the octopus on the rocks out there. I mean, tenderized, and I'm wondering to myself, what the hell he's doing, you know? And he's actually preparing, you know, my meal. And I got fresh stewed octopus, I mean, right there and then, a la menu. You know, I was like, damn, and that was eye-opening, you know what I mean? And so I felt like we could do the same thing, you know what I mean? People can eat fresh.
Of course we can.
You know what I mean? But it takes a lot of work.
Yep.
But you know,
But-
but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it is.
definitely.
Because even, you know, my friends and I talk about this all the time, you know, having like your own little garden. And if you put your fresh thyme versus the thyme bought in the store,
Sometimes.
it's a whole different flavor and
It
it's
is.
a lot more robust.
Yeah. I'm not gonna bash Plaza and the rest and the rest produce, but if we all, I mean, just take, you know, a time and just take a day and say, you know what, I'm gonna build a little raised bed outside and I'm gonna do some thyme. I'm gonna grow some thyme, some basil, some oregano, with some lemongrass, some cherry tomatoes. I mean, you name it. That is one chunk of your grocery bill. That's out. That's out. You know what I mean?
And it's more flavorful.
It's fresh.
And it's fresh. And you pick it how you feel like. You don't want to pick your whole tree, so you can minimize. You know, so you can definitely, you know, clip a little, you know, a leaf here, a leaf there. You know, and you could prepare your little stew chicken. You know what I mean? You make your little sofrito batch and stuff like that, and you preserve it. And you save some money too.
And so you make all this food in your kitchen there?
Yeah, and we have a small kitchen. People are like, oh my gosh.
So you prepare all the food?
Yeah.
All of the food?
We have I have to big up my chef assistant.
Okay.
Which is Janelle Miller. I have Victor Murray. He's awesome. He's our prep cook, and I also have one dishwasher. We also have three waitresses. We have one bartender, which is Bianca. We have Tiffany, and we also have Shakila.
Nice.
And then we have a wide catering staff too. Too numerous to mention. So
Well, I could say this. They do an excellent job at catering. I just came from a function for one of my friends.
yes, I saw your face. I'm very good with faces.
Yes, and we did. And you guys did an excellent job.
Thank you.
You know, on the catering, and it was actually a sit-down dinner. You know, they had the wait staff come and serve us. So. Yes.
Renaissance. Nice.
At Reminisce.
Reminisce.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and it was an excellent experience. So you guys have great customer service even with your catering.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
So we can see that that's very important to Virginia that, you know, whoever we hire,
Yes, indeed.
at least, you know, smile and be polite.
Yes.
If nothing
Yes,
else, you
indeed.
know?
Yes.
So Virginia, she went.
Everybody be like, you don't smile, but trust me, I take that serious.
She's on it. Virginia is on it, man.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
She's sometimes she's on the camera and she's like watching and she's like, hey, call them up. Like, yo, where's your smile? Right, where's your smile?
Great customer
Smile
service is very important.
It is.
Yeah.
You go back
It
outside,
is.
pick up your smile, and come back in.
Come back
Yes.
in.
Yes.
There
Yes.
you go.
I know, and that's one of the things that a lot of people probably agree that's sort of lacking here is the customer service.
Yeah.
And so when you get it, it's just almost refreshing, you know. It makes you like, I'm going to come back here tomorrow.
Yeah.
We had a expression where this guy was like, oh my God, you're so extra.
Yeah.
And then when he came back the other day, he was like, you know, I actually appreciate it. It was just like that moment.
Yeah.
It
He was
just like-
shocked. Yeah,
but he was
he was
just
shocked.
so in shock.
Yeah.
He said I was just in shock just to have that, you know, that
service
customer
and
service.
welcoming.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get it everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what we try to do. We try our best. We do our best, not try our best. We do our best, you know, to make sure that our customers feel 100% every time they come to J&P Diner.
Okay.
Because, man, trust me, the words. I have been to establishment. I'm not gonna bash in nobody establishments and stuff like that, but Come on, man. I mean, not even a smile, eh?
I mean, not even a good afternoon.
Not even a good
Talk
afternoon.
about smile. Just like, I go help you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, you know.
And I always feel like, when you go to places like that and you don't get the good customer service, it's like, I feel like I'm bothering them.
Yeah, and that's
It's like
it.
they didn't want to come to work
Yeah, they
today.
didn't want to come to work. Well, you should have stayed home.
You should have stayed home.
Yeah, that's-
and that's exactly what I mean. Normally, I don't frequent a lot of places because I end up, not wanting them to alter my food.
But
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
like, you
Because
get
I'm
the
like, if you
feed
didn't want to
off.
come,
Yeah.
then you should have stayed at home.
Yeah. And that's
And
like-
sometimes they feed off at you because it's like,
Yeah, they feed up on you because sometimes a customer come in and feel like have a bad day. You never know what happened that day, and then you're coming with the same negative vibe, and then mess on, and then it becomes a conflict. You know what I'm saying?
Conflict, like,
And then that's where tension inside your establishment could occur. So therefore, we have Virginia to stop and put a boundary between all that one time. So
Okay.
that's why I'm so big ups and kudos to management.
So she has so when she hires a waitress, she has a 40-hour
Oh,
week program
trust-
on customer service.
Oh man, they go through.
I'm very strict. I'm very
Okay.
strict. I am very strict.
Okay, well that's encouraging, man, because like I said, it helps with return customers because you feel
Correct.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you want to go back and continue to feel appreciated
Trust me.
with the service. So I want to ask you guys about the awards. Now I guess the awards that you were talking about was that when you won the rib alligator.
And it'll get rid of the hot sauce,
The hot
and we
sauce.
actually win the 7 Seals for the National Guard.
Yeah.
Because we gave back, and we had a few employees also employed from the National Guard also. So we always
nice.
giving back to them also. So they supported us and they recognized us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a good experience. We got to meet the lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Governors too,
great.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are doing real good, man. I come in there from time to time, and I see people in there, and everybody seems happy, and you jump out all the time. That's one of the things when I sit there and wait for my food.
Yeah.
That you always come out and you shake everybody's hand.
Yep.
From the very first time I went in, I noticed that right away,
Yep.
and that says a lot.
Bring a different feel out,
Yeah.
because you don't get that in most
You don't get that.
places.
I want
You don't
people
even
to
get
know.
to see how the chef look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's always presentable and make sure he's clean and
I want
And
people to know.
and really at 5-star restaurants in the States, normally
Yeah, that's why they do that.
They do that.
And
so
that's-
so we
exactly.
feel 5-star
I
when
got
we
that.
come to
I got
JMB
that.
Diner, you know?
Got a little
We
special
feel 5-star when we
feel,
come to
I
JMB
mean,
Diner.
everything came from a lot of experience too, from a lot of different chefs too. I work with
Yeah, who are some of like?
Some of the chefs that you have
Yeah,
worked
just
with.
Mark. I worked with Mark Bottle before. I've worked with Simon, different Chef Simon.
Are these like local or these like
This is
national?
local. This is
Oh,
local.
local. Okay.
This is Chef Gums, Leslie Gums, Antoine Duz.
Okay.
You name it, Brian Soku. Oh my gosh, that was Carambola. Oh man, I work with two numerous dimensions. I mean, different two numerous dimensions.
But some really good chefs. Too.
But a lot of good chefs that actually took the pride, deity for their time with each dish. So and the passion. So I know how they felt. So now I know owning my own restaurant right now. I know what I need to do.
Okay.
Basically, just staying on top of things.
Okay.
And I'm very thankful for working. But Mark Barrow, I want to really thank him. Mark Barrow is the one that gave me an opportunity. He was the one that actually, when I was I can recall 12 years old, my mom never wanted me to be the idle child, so she was like, you know what, you're gonna come to work with me. So that time at Rum Runners was like, it was so busy, like we doing like 300 breakfasts. I mean, it was so busy at those times.
So when was that though? What year was that?
This is oh my gosh.
He was young,
I was
so,
young.
okay.
I was
Okay.
a kid. Like,
Okay.
That was my first experience.
Okay.
Right in the kitchen.
Okay.
My mom, she said you're not gonna stay home. And my day offs and stuff like that. So I said, okay, I'm okay, no problem. And here am I toasting bread, toasting bread. That was my first job. Should have got toasting bread, wheat bread, white bread. So the waitress would walk in and she would hey, wheat bread. Great. So I put the two breads inside, let them toast and bring them all the way down. And then after that, I take the two slice of bread and I would cut them in half and put it on their plates, which would have to be like their holidays or their scrambled eggs or whatever the case may be. So that was my job. So I would get tipped just for that. Then after that, now they would have to turn over the lunch. So I would go clean silverwares and dry silverwares and wrap them in their bags. And then I went off there. I got tipped from there. Now, and then I said, man, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be out on the floor. I want to be on the floor waiting, busting tables. So I became a waiter and a busser too. I was busting tables, waiting tables.
Okay.
So I got more tips now and being more engaged with the customers now. So therefore now I'm having customers like, hey Jamal, where can I want to be in Jamal's section? I want to be in, I want to work, I want to be with Jamal. So that's where I got more engagement with people and having, getting to talk with people and getting to know them and stuff like that too.
Okay.
Then after that I say, you know what, I want to stop prepping, and then Mark Bartle, and I was like, you know what, this seems to be he seems to be so fast. I will come back here. You know how to use a knife? I'm like, no, but you can show me and I can use it. I cut my fingers up so many times. Not believe it. And then after that, now I'm cutting, preparing dishes, just like I'm talking, having a conversation one-on-one with him. And he's like, dude, you're getting good. And then we start doing sauces and dressings and stuff like that. We start creating all those different dishes. And he's like, man, he's leaving me to do, he's showing me that you can trust me. And so therefore, and I just went from there, man. And I always kept that passion and that gift of cooking and making my own craft.
And it sounds
dishes.
like you got an entire experience of the restaurant.
Yeah.
So you talked about
all around it,
just assistant, and then being able to provide customer service as a waiter, and also prepping food and being an assistant. So it sounds like like it actually prepared you.
Yeah,
for
the first 3 months. The first 3 months of J&V, I worked after Virginia by myself.
I remember because I came in.
Yeah, 3 months. I mean, it was crazy busy. I was prepping. I was actually prepping, preparing, plating, and washing dishes at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
I was like Black Chinese in the kitchen. I mean, you would not believe it.
But it paid off.
And
all that hard work paid off.
80 covers. I mean, but it all pays off. And then now I can hire.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have our chef assistants now. We have our prep cook, our dishwasher, and we also have a catering team and our waitresses. So so.
Well, let me ask you. So, as you talk about this catering, how is that going too? Is that like really taking off? I mean,
Virginia can tell you a lot about that catering. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
The catering has actually, like I said, taken off completely. People has been booking us from away. People have been hitting me up on the internet, on the email, Facebook. Like, I want to reserve you guys in today. Like, let me know what's the price. This is what I expect. I want a whole staff. They want us to come in and cater to them.
Yes.
And that's what we do. Sometimes we try to be reasonable with our catering, but when we come with everything, and we come like. We try to come professional, even though we're young.
Okay.
We come with a professional mind and a mind frame as we come into work.
Okay.
That's what we come at.
Okay.
And
I would bring in and all I have to do is make sure I can get your taste buds all walked up and everything will be good. So that's why I have to, that's why I come in now and preparing all the dishes and making sure everything is top notch.
I remember a long time ago when I first I think I went to Germany, and I've never been much of a cook, but someone I think it was a chef in some restaurant that I was in was saying that I guess whatever dish that you make, you should always add onions to it. Onions add flavor.
Add flavor. There we go.
So what's your take on that kind of thing?
Onions. I would say garlic, because garlic.
Yes, garlic has the.
Yeah, I mean, I've done this many times. Like I would, start up a pot and just like start off with garlic. And a slow heat.
Okay.
With olive oil, and you would not believe it. You would have head turning. So what are you cooking in there? What are you cooking in there? And that's from the heart. And garlic is good for the heart. So so definitely, I would always say garlic. Start off. I like to season with garlic. I love to use garlic, and onions is very good too. Onions are in my sofrito base. Like garlic is in my sofrito base.
Okay.
So that's my base.
Okay.
So I have an annual base, and ricao is in my base too, and stuff like that. So. But onion is very good, but garlic is my favorite.
Okay. Have you ever like overcooked anything?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have overcooked fish before. In my upcoming experience and stuff like that.
Okay.
If I can overcook a fish now, you can slap me right now, because I would never ever overcook a fish.
Okay.
Leave that. So.
Okay.
So I would try my best. Do my best. Right now I'm dealing with the local and American, clientele too. So locals would love their food a little bit more well done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. Not everyone. You're right.
Yeah.
But then I have, I do have a handful of locals that would be some big man, bun my black and spice salmon
Yeah.
And then now I have my American, make my locals would be like, you know what, I would love my salmon at least medium well, or you know what I
Yes.
mean, at least juicy, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then therefore that's why I'm trying to make sure I didn't rush myself into dinners, because I really want to start transition dishes like the steaks and surf and turf dishes with steaks and stuff like that. So if I'm doing the steaks now, I know have different temperatures, you know.
Correct.
So
And that's
wanna
something that
yeah.
I mean, that's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
I think when
A
I
lot
go
of
to
people
certain
request that.
restaurants and the chefs peep out and they see it's a local,
Yeah.
and I might order my steak because I like my steak medium or
yeah.
medium rare.
Yes, you do.
And then it comes well done.
Yes, because yeah.
And then they
That's
say,
interesting.
"Oh, you saw local. Why you want your steak?" And I'm like, "But I prefer my steak
That's how
medium
you
or
prefer your
medium
steak.
rare." And
Yeah.
you know, and everyone knows that steak cooks itself. So
Yeah,
it's
yes.
kind of like,
Yep.
if it's at medium rare, that means you stick with the fire because
Yeah.
it's gonna be medium soon.
Exactly.
So I mean, I think that's very important that you learn that kind of stuff
Yeah.
to do the dinner
Yeah.
portions.
And that's why I want to take my time. So if I
Yeah.
had to rush to say for instance, right now we're probably doing over 80 to 100 orders a day. And we're doing that, and then after I have to turn over now to do start dinners.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be burned out. You know, I want to make sure I'm there taking my time with everybody temperatures and stuff.
Well,
So-
I can't wait.
So your day dish really is going to become much longer then.
Yeah, it's gonna be longer.
Because
Okay.
even our daily dish is actually incorporated into a night dish. also.
Exactly what you're saying. Our menu is subliminal. You know,
Okay.
our menu is very subliminal.
It's gonna be lunch
It
and
could be
stuff
lunch
like
and dinner if you check it out. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
So, and that's why some people are like, some big man, so you tricking me, Miss, on this a dinner menu, you know? But
They start to feel sleepy.
But it starts to feel sleepy, like they
Yeah,
already ate dinner. and
I
stuff
only
like
ate half of my snapper plate.
yeah, see that? But and the good part about it, you could have probably warm it up later on.
and I
that
did.
night.
I had it for dinner as well.
That's the good part, and that's what I love the most. That we're preparing food that's prepared right there and then every single day. And if you eat half for lunch, and you're just like, oh my gosh, man, eat half, and you can go back home and warm up the rest. And then now we open for dinner. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can call me back and like, yo, let me have some more Alfredo.
Okay. So when
his
can
Alfredos are the bomb.
when can we expect the dinner? Dinner, is that like by the end of the year or
We
Coming soon.
coming soon?
coming soon.
Okay.
Coming soon.
We'll put it on Facebook, and it will just be what will it be? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No,
Yeah, Wednesday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to give the chef a little
break.
A little break.
Yeah.
I'm already skinny bantan already, man.
He just has a lot of energy.
And then I have
He
these-
does. Jamal bounces off the wall.
Eat and he will eat
And that's
it's
natural.
like-
That's all natural. Everybody, yeah, that's all natural.
All natural energy, right?
Yeah, that's all natural.
Yeah. So what is like when you first started out? Were any secrets, like chef secrets, shared with you? Like when you talk about these guys and working with them, did they say like, Jamal, this is the secret about being a good chef?
Yeah.
Cooking
Well,
and that kind of stuff.
I have a couple. Actually, one of them that I always stick with was one of the chefs told me that Mark, he said, you know what? Cooking does not have any rules, but you cannot put in as much that you cannot take out. You understand? So therefore, if you put in as much salt, what's going to happen? Oh, your dish is going to be very salty.
Salty, yeah.
If you put in a lot of sugar, then your dish might be too salty. You understand? Some people can take salt, some people can take sugar. So therefore, cooking doesn't have any rules, and therefore just expand your horizon. You know what I mean? So therefore, some people you may see a kid mix this, eat Cheetos with with cookies, and then still drink milkshake, and they mix all these different, but that's how they feel. That's what they want to eat. So definitely is almost like a fusion. So it's never done. It's never that dish is never your last dish then that you're gonna create. You're always gonna have it always evolve. You know what I mean? Like, so cooking is always evolving. You know what I mean? Every day is always a creation. Every
Like you
single
So do you
No
think that
rules.
your meals taste exactly the same every day, or do you think that there's variation to your preparation sometimes?
fairly, and from a scale from 1 to 100, I would say 95% of the time, I know for a fact that we're staying consistent.
Like, today the stew chicken will be good, and then next week or tomorrow be like something about that stew chicken.
Yeah,
tastes
but
like
then that all boils. Yeah, you know what I mean. It all boils down now to sometimes I might not have that right product that I use. Like I have a chicken base, 2 different chicken bases, and I can put this out to you guys. And the names are Hacko. One brand is Hacko, and one brand is Norse. And Hacko is my favorite. But then sometimes Hacko, my Hacko chicken base might not be in. So I have to use Norse. But Norse is the secondary choice and it would not give me the flavor that I want from Hacko. So therefore, sometimes it can reflect on my customers. Be like, "Son Jamal, son, go on."
But yeah, the last we go better.
Yeah. And
What about cooking with love? I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's
you
love,
know,
and
I hear
yeah.
like we make fun at home. Sometimes you're like, "Man, mommy, this food tastes really good because it feel like you cook it with love today."
Yes. But my father, I want to big up my father too, because he has the best stew chicken in the world to me. Like,
He has the best what?
The best stew chicken in the world.
Okay,
right now.
okay.
And he's one guy that look.
And I'm a critique.
She's a critique. She would just call my father up and say, "Listen, hey, Daddy, you bring me some stew chicken," and he would do that. He would fall right off the bone, and it's always consistent and tastes
All the time.
exactly the same. Exactly.
He
the
just
same.
takes his.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He takes his time.
And when I mean
sometimes-
time, he
yeah.
takes his time.
Oh wow.
Slow cook.
Slow cook.
So are you cooking from memory? So like you every day, or do you have your recipes in front of you? Someone says they want this, you flip through. Okay, then I hook it up, or
I have the index. I have the index right back in the back here,
Okay,
and
okay.
then I have my mom, which is my mom. She's one of the cooks at Grandmother's too.
Okay.
She does the AM breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
And then I have my chef, my uncle, which is Roosevelt Rollins. He works at Bombay too, Bombay restaurant.
Okay.
So definitely we're surrounded with a lot of different chefs around in the
Okay.
family too. So we always create, talking and
Creating stuff.
talking about food and stuff like that. And food is well grown, well planted in our family. So
Okay.
that's how we grew up on.
Okay. Yeah, tonight our guests are Jamal and Virginia, J and V Diner. They're right here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. We're going to take another quick break. And then, is there anything else that you guys want to share about your experience?
Well, I must say, I want to thank you guys so much right now. I mean, I feel, this is state of the art, people, definitely. And I
Yeah,
want you guys to.
this is my first experience. I am always behind the scene. I'm like, I leave that to you.
What about your location? Where you're located? Your phone number?
We're actually located in the Casa Coakley area, which is between Quality and Emilio. I don't know if you are aware of that. It has the Federal Credit Union, which is in Mid-Island. Our telephone number is 773-3463, which is 773-DINE. And our email is jvsdiner@gmail.com, which is jvsdiner@gmail.com. Or you could just call us, which is 773-3463, or just hit us up on Facebook. The fun page is J&V Diner, and the regular page is JV Diner.
Okay.
Because our customers, they'd be like, "Hey, JV." Yeah. So that's the nickname, JV.
JV, okay. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Stand by. All right, we're back.
Welcome back, everyone.
This is the HR Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2014. It's about 9:14 p.m. Did I say that? August 5th, 2015. It's about 9:15 p.m. Get that right here. Our guests tonight, J and V Diner, Jamal and Virginia. There they are. I just want to say thank you guys for coming out and sharing the whole concept of J and V Diner and doing big things and providing good food, healthy food. One of the other things that I wanted to mention too is that I thought that, I don't cook at all. I must say. So I eat out. I have my places I go to on a regular basis. And so your place is a place that I stop in, among other places. But what I like about your food there too is that it almost sort of has sort of an island cruisin / American twist to it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you feel like you're eating maybe at like a Fridays.
Yeah,
getting
that
food from
was-
a Fridays kind
yeah.
of a thing.
And that's exactly what we were
That's
trying
what
to do.
we wanted to incorporate too.
Okay.
We wanted a twist of Red Lobster, Joe's Crab Shack.
Yes.
Yes. And the Popeyes and stuff like that. A mix of everything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But a local twist. So therefore our locals, we don't want to exclude our locals.
Okay.
We want to definitely entwine everything together as one. So that's where you're getting that fusion and that your taste buds are working up like that.
Yeah, you're getting that blend.
Yeah, you're getting a blend. So.
You're getting a blend, yeah. So, in closing here, you guys just tell us how people can get a hold of you and all the whole social media thing and your address and just any other things that you want to say here.
Yeah, like so definitely. Well, in the future, in closing, I want to just tally back on some of our future plans that we're going to be that we have in the books. I really, right now, I'm teaching a class, like Virginia said, in the hospital, healthy eating, nutrition, food, through Cigna. That is that's doing very well. That was something I wanted to do in the future, when I get a little older, God spare, knock on wood. That was something I really wanted to do, but now it came upon me. So now the future is right now.
Okay.
So for me at that point. So, and then I wanted to start teaching classes, summer classes with the kids, have interns and stuff like that, so we can have more chefs out here, and with the skills and ability and sanitary use and way of knife handling skills and stuff like that. So they could go out in the real world, and progress with their education and stuff like that too. So I think that they can. I think that's my calling next. Like, just to educate the kids right now, and doing more talk shows or having them on a one-on-one, so they can have a hands-on in the kitchen, just like the way I had.
Okay.
I got the opportunity to have the hands-on ability in the kitchen, and I think if we give our youths the ability to just give them a chance to have the hands-on ability, I think that they could do very well. Sometimes teaching them and giving a book, sometimes giving them a book, they would not read the book in a sense. But if you show them something, believe it or not, and you give them the knife and the tools and utensils to get it done, then you will see that child actually become a star.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because being the St. Croix chair for the Boys and Girls Club, I'll definitely be reaching out to you, because I know we're looking for ways to engage our kids in other non-conventional careers. So
definitely. That's where I'm
reach out to you.
That's where I'm at right now, and is our kids in the future I'm looking forward to, and then therefore we're building a catering service too, or catering team, so then you never know, those same chefs and interns can carry on. I would love to be a chef that owns like 20 different restaurants. We're at J&V.
Be able to provide.
I just want to provide jobs.
For the Virgin Islands,
employ people, and stuff like that. So we're in Castle Coakley, but I'm thinking like, okay, how about a J&V in out west? How about J&V in St. Thomas? How about J&V in Miami? You know what I mean? And Brandon, and I'm not at any last one of those. But while I'm there, you guys gonna pay. You know what I mean? So that's why I really want to be. I really want to just employ people. Employ people at the time.
Give them the opportunity.
Give them the opportunity and put them. Put chefs. Out there.
Because I have a lot of people that actually cooks here, like a lot of young students and.
There is. I mean, educational complex have their. There, and then there are other kids that I'm sure that we haven't tapped into that actually have the gift of.
We have some big events coming up soon that is in the future to make it. It's not concrete yet, you know what I mean? But we can't really talk about it. But we have some big events that we're going to start trying to market, our chefs and market other Caribbean chefs, bring them to the Virgin Islands and stuff like that, to and hold events and stuff like that.
Sounds great.
And so we have a lot of stuff in the plan in the making.
What would be kind of great, and this is something that even before we started doing the show, a little over a year and a half, was like for yourself, having some cameras pointed at you while you're actually doing some cooking or whatever, and we can that we can just stream that all as part of a show or something.
That's great. I don't mind. And then that day we can tell the special of the day and stuff like that. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't mind. My kitchen is your kitchen.
Okay.
Guests are welcome.
Yeah, something that it will definitely work. With just the 3 cameras and streaming it out. So. Anything else that you wanted to share, Virginia, as we close out here?
Just want to say thank you to all our customers, our family, our friends, everyone who actually supported us. Just like as us, as a married couple, young individual, we just try to open a business, and the support out here has been enormous. I mean, we had the bad, but within the good, it has actually outstanding.
Okay.
And we just can't be more thankful than actually what we have right now.
Yeah, talk a little bit about from the business side of having a restaurant.
Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. I mean, if someone is saying that they want to open up a restaurant, like a storefront restaurant.
Yes, storefront.
It takes a lot of work, dedication, and motivation. Like, you have to be determined that this is what you want. Like, when we decided to do it, I was like, I'm in for it. Like, you have to be like, it had days like we didn't eat. It had days like we had no light. Like it had days like the fridge was like empty. Like I mean, we sacrificed every single thing to put into this.
I didn't have a dime the first day we opened.
Well, at least you have a good wife. That's the best.
That's and I want to thank you so much, Virginia.
Of course, I know you're
mean,
thankful for me, honey.
and I love it so dearly, and I love and I want to thank my mom and my dad for and my brother actually. You know, we kept that in
And
the
my
circle, and my
sister.
sister-in-law Annika, and she was
And my sister Mary,
and
all
Mary.
of them have just
Yeah,
been, you know,
and her family too.
encouraging
They
everybody.
all,
So
they all
family
help
support
us.
is very
So
important.
everyone pitch in, you know what I mean? And we put up, we paint.
You know, everybody put in
set
their
up,
work, and it was like, you know, when we went in, we just went in with nothing. We just went in with a vision, and we just put everything aside, and we was like, we're going straight forward with this, and that
It's a
was
leap
it.
of
You know?
faith.
And then right
Yes,
now,
so-
I want to thank Kendricks too. Kendricks, you know, Kendricks, you know, he shut down.
Kendricks and
Old Kendricks.
Divine Funeral Home,
Yeah,
they was
yeah.
able to sponsor us.
Yeah, they
also.
sponsor us. Divine Funeral Home. I want to thank Elton and Kendricks. They gave me the stoves.
Wow.
I mean, you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
okay.
you're
'Cause
talking
we
about
started off
thousands
with a
of
regular
dollars.
home stove.
I mean, we started off with a $300 stove.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Kicking 80 orders a day. I'm like, my gosh,
Like
I'm being black
nothing.
Chinese in the back. And I'm telling you, I mean, the fire and the flame is not that much, so you got to take your time. You got to know what you're doing. So, I mean, now I'm blazing behind it. Now I'm blazing, you know. So,
Okay.
And so I want to thank Kendricks and Divine Funeral Home for their sponsorships. I mean, they was they gave us
Y'all
the
start.
proportions.
Help with the start, yeah.
Yeah, man,
But when a
definitely.
business aspect, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of paperwork. You know, going into the government and you know being able to have to be able to see if you actually approve or not. Like you know, it took us a little while, but during the whole process, you know, once you go straight
Yeah.
forward and you approve, it's like your vision is there. You
vision,
know, just
okay.
move straight forward and just go for it.
Like,
You will never
yeah.
know if you will proceed or if you will actually conquer it unless you don't try. You
don't
know?
try, yeah.
And that's where we went in. We was like, if we don't try this now, we will never know if it will work out for us now or never. You know.
And it's working.
It's working. So to the person that wanted to open a restaurant, the little store side, start. I mean, at first
Start small.
to start small.
Okay.
I wanted to start
Big.
I wanted to go
I was like-
big.
But you're
I
a
mean,
visionary, so that's
you would not believe
normal.
it. But then I mean, when they bought the $300 stove, my mama like, you crazy? I'm not cooking in this. I mean, like, I ain't cooking in this at all. You know, what I mean? Like, she's like, no, you have to start small. I said, well, I'm not opening. I ain't cooking. I'm not cooking.
Yeah, that's
And then you would not believe that stove is in our house now. I'm cooking it with that stove. That's the oven now, and we have our own stove, you know what I mean? So I must say, man, you start small. Start small. Maybe it might not be the top-notch brand that you want, you understand? But like I say, I don't like name brand and stuff, but I'd rather go and buy a pants or a shirt from Kmart now and then, you know, I'm cheap.
Just
you
start
understand?
small.
Start
you know,
small, man.
Do have a vision plan.
Don't worry about anybody.
You know,
And stay focused.
Stay focused, and if you have somebody that is determined to help you and is willing to be there for you, well then you know that they could be able to have that experience for
Yeah.
you. But if you want that business for yourself, it's better to start small, and then
small.
gradually you will grow.
Grow,
Because right
definitely.
now he wanted to open up this big restaurant. I was
wanted
like,
a
it's a
big
good
restaurant.
idea, but we don't have those big funds.
Yeah.
So I was like,
And
let's
it
go
would've- yeah,
small
it
and
would've been a big
let's
overhead,
see how this
you know,
gradually
that's it.
takes us, and you know everything just takes time.
In a way, in a sense, to me, it seems like you guys have sort of outgrown where you are now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
we
Yeah.
have done it. We had
They
a
have
couple
some
days.
that we have to
at,
close early. I'm
uh,
like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I had to tell her like, yo, Virginia, shut down the restaurant now. I mean, a long line is
I'm like,
outside.
can you
the whole
just take
restaurant
to-go?
is
And
like,
he's like,
okay,
no.
shut it down, because I want to make sure that everyone's order is well, prepared.
Well
and,
dealt with, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't, one shortage. I don't. Somebody will be, oh, Jamal, what's going on? I see this picture on Facebook, and he look like this,
You got a broccoli in
Yeah,
there.
ain't no broccoli and ain't no green peas, you know what I mean? And we rushing, and when you rush, that's when things happen, you know.
Yeah,
so
you forget
try
this,
to
you
take our
forget
time,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, man. Well, J&V Diner is our guest tonight, Jamal and Virginia. I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight.
No, and thank you.
Thank you for giving
Uh-huh.
us this opportunity.
Sure,
It
anytime,
means a
man.
lot.
It's your perspective talk
Talk
show.
show.
That's it right there, man. And
Definitely.
we're always streaming live from the VI.com.
And where can we find you guys again?
All right.
JMV Diner, located in the Castle Coakley area, which is number 49, Suite 12. It's between Quality Auto Parts and Emilio. Mid-Island Credit Union is right in the back. If you do need a call, it is 340-773-3463 or 773-DINE. Or you can hit us up on Facebook, which is JV Diner, or the fan page, which is JMV Diner. And our email is jvsdiner, DINER, which is one N, not two N, at gmail.com, which is again jvsdiner, gmail.com, at gmail.com.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shanice, thank you for coming out as well. And this is I just
Thank you for having me, David.
Sure, man. You're
And
always
congratulations again to you guys,
thank
and
you, Shanice.
all
Thank you,
good
David.
luck
Definitely.
and
Thank
best
you, guys.
wishes.
Yeah, and I just want to say that this is the It's Your Perspective talk show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. Today is August 5th, 2015. It's about 9:27 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow night. We do have another guest lined up. But most importantly, you always got to remember to go to our website, streaming live from the VI.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We have email, streaming live from the VI at yahoo.com. And on that note, thank you once again, Jamal and Virginia, for coming through.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
And we're out, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Peace.